Welcome to the SFL's 14th championship game. Today, the 10-4 Sioux Falls Sparrows will take on the 12-2 Atlanta Swarm, and you're watching the pregame show on 11 Sports and for the fans. Alongside me today is my analyst, Cade Stevens. How you doing, Cade?
Cam, doing great. Happy to be here today. A big game between Atlanta and Sioux Falls. Will be a lot of fun to see how this plays out. A whole season worth of effort to get to this point.
This will be the 129th sim of the SFL's 14th season. That, my friends, is almost 260 hours of content in the last 3 months. What a whirlwind it's been.
Yeah, whirlwind, I would say, indeed, but lots of fun, and it's all led to this point for these two teams who have poured out their heart and soul. And speaking of doing that, the commissioner himself, nod to you, sir, for putting in a ton of effort to get to this point. I hope you guys have enjoyed the broadcast, the Sims, up until this point, and now we are here at the SFL Championship Game, Season 14.
With all that said, let's get into it. First, the Atlanta Swarm. This team has built a brotherhood like no other. Marcus Dunhill, a burn survivor, will become the new director of player personnel in the SFL after this game. He would like to retire, fading away into the sunset as a winner. He would be one of the rare people to do that in SFL history. And Dunhill and the rest of the Atlanta Swarm gang, well, they're just about as passionate a bunch as anybody. Take a look.
Yeah, I started my team with my brother as wide receiver, Boo Chisholm. My halfback is my boy that I grew up with since day one, BDG Hollywood, and we've stayed close. You know, we've always been close friends, and as we got older, everybody moved different places to the country. You know, BDG moved to Alabama first. My brother stayed in New York, and I moved down here to Atlanta. So to keep that family bond going between us, you know, when I got my team, I was like, yo, y'all need to join this. So, you know, it's something that we can share and stick together and keep, you know, our bond going.
SFL, this is Steve Compare. I represent BDG Hollywood for Atlanta Swarm. Future champs. Watching the plays, the crazy things that go on, the crazy reactions I have for a simulation thing, which is kind of crazy, weird, I don't know, but it's a great time. I love it.
I mean, even to where I'm literally in bed at night, my wife is listening to the commentation and hearing Boo Chisholm. She knows, she knows that's me, and I'm like, it's real. Here's my player, and Chiz did a great job at simulating the uniforms and putting the shades on the helmets, and I mean, here it is. Here's my player, number 80, which is one of my favorite players of all time, Jerry Rice, you know, wide receiver. And here I am simulating behind that, and it's unbelievable.
Everybody has been so warm and welcoming, even more so than I ever expected. There are people in this league that I maybe talked to once over the course of the entire last year, and they are some of the most warmest and most welcoming people in the entire league. You know, you go anywhere and you feel included, and you know, you may have just met all these people for the first time, but you feel like you've known them forever.
Being an older player that's been here and seen a lot of things, seen a lot of game in 2K8, it's definitely, you need to work at it and understand different things about the way the game operates. And these younger guys need to not just jump in and be like, oh, this is not doing this, and get frustrated and leave. You know, it takes time. You know what I'm saying? This is, what, season 7 for me? And I just learned some things. Each season I'm getting better, learning, and putting in the work, you know, grinding, simming, staying in the lab. And if you're dedicated, you will see the fruits of your labor come to fruition.
How about that, Cade? I mean, what a team. It's just a lot of great guys. And now in his 8th season, you know, Mark Chisholm talking about just keeping with it, and now Atlanta's in their first SFL championship game, and it's a grind, but 4 years later, here they are.
Well, that's the thing that a lot of people don't realize is that perseverance is the key in a lot of these situations, is that sometimes folks want immediate satisfaction and don't get it. But what you have to realize in situations like this, and this is the perfect example, is that when staring into the face of adversity, you must show courage and persevere through hard times to get to times just like this. And here it is now. Atlanta, the perfect example, finds themselves in the championship game in season 14.
Well, okay, the league is growing, and this is one of the most exciting times in the SFL when we get this rare opportunity to unveil new brands, new teams coming into the league. People already know about two teams that have been sold and relocated. Seattle was sold at the end of the season and relocated to Denton, Texas, just coincidentally SFL headquarters, although the league has no affiliation with that team. But Charles Doherty, Wally Herman own that team. We'll get a look at their brand. And then also the New Orleans Pharaohs relocated to Louisiana to become the Louisiana Revolution. We'll get a look at that brand and speak with those owners today. And then we will reveal our two expansion winners. And Kate, are you ready?
I am absolutely fired up, Cam.
Let's get this party started with the Louisiana Revolution. With me now is the owner of the Louisiana Revolution, Gerald Smith. Gerald, what do you think of how this process has all come together? Your team will be on the field here in just a few months.
It's come together really, really well. I think I am definitely feel like I've been blessed, with being part of the ownership group.
Let's talk a little bit about the alternate logo. It's gotten a lot of fan attention here behind the scenes in the SFL. You have a Native American heritage. You all the colors were designed specifically to harken back to Houma, Louisiana, where you are. So just express a little bit about what went into all this branding.
The alternate logo. I wanted to capture the state of Louisiana as a whole, which Matt Doyle did a great thing doing that, and I wanted to add those feathers in there as a little nod to my Native American heritage, and stuff like that. So and Revolution in name as well, kind of goes back to my Native American heritage too. I am a tribal member of the United Houma Nation. As a Indian tribe, we are not federally recognized as an actual Indian tribe, even though we very much are. So we just force change with the revolution.
Well, Gerald, we look forward to seeing the team on the field in July. We'll speak to you more in depth in the coming weeks on the squad. But congratulations and welcome. Welcome into the league here in the 15th season coming up. Can't wait to see you hit the field.
Thank you, Cam.
Next up, the Lone Star Glory. With me now, Wally Herman and Charles Doherty, the joint owners of the Lone Star Glory. I want to start with Wally first. You've had a big vision for this brand along with Charles for a while, and how do you feel like it all came together?
It came together perfectly. The Lone Star State has led football with its history, its culture, and its championships. Our brand, I think it celebrates that history, that culture, and those championships. So that's what we wanted, and Matt Doyle gave us a perfect brand.
Charles, you just recently announced the hiring of Brian Craven to the staff. You guys will be building your team in the coming months. how big of a relief is it to be able to take that next step forward and really feel like now, you're an SFL team and you're here to stay, forced to be reckoned with coming up?
Oh, I feel great. I mean, Craven was a huge signing for us. Look forward to working with him. I have much respect for him. Yeah, I just can't wait to start signing some players and filling up the locker room. Right now, it's just Wally, myself, and Brian.
The locker room feeling full is always a wonderful thing. One of the best parts about the SFL, and by the end of the off season, we'll probably end up having 20 players in that house. So best of luck to you all building the roster, and we're excited for you. And thanks so much for being here.
Go Glory!
Our first expansion team, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Without further ado. Congratulations to Jacob Bouvette. The Portland Fleet are coming to the SFL as Portland has passed the expansion process. Jacob, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Cam. How are you, sir?
I'm great. I'm sure you're just over the moon at this point. Why don't you just share just some initial thoughts?
And Cam, I am 100% ecstatic. I want to thank my peers for putting me in, Cam. This is a 100% honor.
The anchor at the top of the ship going down to the bottom, the football at the front of the ship. It's a beautiful job by Matt Doyle. But Jacob, your ascension to the top, you now are part of that Jeremy Vega tree, by extension, the Andy Hamilton coaching tree from all these years. But like Jeremy, a pretty fast ascent into the SFL ranks. Just quickly summarize what's been your life here in the last 6 to 9 months.
My life in the past 6 to 9 months have been hard work and dedication. I owe everything to Jeremy Vega and the Denver Nightwings team. Jeremy, thank you so much for believing in me as a rookie head coach and as a rookie offensive coordinator. Man, I couldn't have done it without him.
Jacob, thanks for joining us. We're so excited to welcome Oregon's first SFL team in league history, and we'll see you on the field.
Thanks, Cam.
The 22nd SFL team for season 15. They're up next. The Fort Worth Toros will provide a new rival to the Lone Star Glory. The two teams separated by about 50 miles in the DFW Metroplex. They've already been building a rivalry behind the scenes. Stephen Hacker and Luis Gonzalez, the joint owners of the team, here with us now. First, to start with Hacker. You've been a Fort Worth guy all your life. What does this mean to bring a team here today?
Cam, I'm just so excited to bring Simulation Football League to Fort Worth. It has been a huge goal of mine and Lewis's to have something in the league that we'd be proud of, something in our hometown. We know there's a lot of Texas representation in the league, so we felt like this was a good spot for us, a good fit for the league. And we're just really excited to be a franchise in this league. I think we're really happy with how our logo turned out. Matt Doyle did a great job working with us and getting our design onto paper. And we're really just excited to represent Cowtown Fort Worth. We've got some exciting alternate designs for our uniform that we're really excited to show people. So we can't wait for season 15.
Luis, your time and Steven's time in Queen City has certainly been valuable. You were just 10 points away from reaching the championship here today, but What all have you done in Queen City, and what will you take from that going into Fort Worth?
Well, I mean, start now. We learned a lot from Eric. Eric taught us a lot from being great GMs to being great coordinators to being great team players. Whenever it comes to learning the playbooks, it always takes a long time. It's perseverance through the hard times, and that builds a strong foundation to develop with. Being one game short of the championship was pretty rough, but we got to move on and try to do well in the future.
Damon Simeon in the chat saying there should only be one team in my state, and that is Houston. The Texas rivalry already beginning across the state. Steven,
we'll have to come down 35 South then, Demond. I mean, we'll just go ahead and start a battle for 35 right now. I'm putting it out for the public to know, Demond. We're coming for 35. Don't worry about it, bud.
There you go, Steven and Luis, the owners of Fort Worth. We got a championship game to get to. Thank you guys for being here, and congratulations.
Go Toros.
Before we take a look and take a stroll down memory lane, Cade, your thoughts on the 4 newest brands in the SFL, bringing us to a record 22 teams.
Exciting. I mean, exciting times to be part of the SFL. I mean, think about you got 4 new teams, 2 relocations, and then 2 brand new teams in the league. Myself also being a part-time Louisiana man, as I spent some years there growing up, definitely excited about the revolution, but at the same time excited about all these teams. Congrats to the brand new owners. Congrats to the relocations. Exciting times among all of you, and let the rivalries and the shots be fired. That's where I'm at right now.
Now, Sioux Falls has been in the league 9 seasons, and in the 9 seasons of the SFL, not only has Sioux Falls grown, but the league has taken some pretty nice steps from a technology perspective, too. Most people out there haven't seen what the league looks like 4.5 years ago. You get a glimpse at it today. Check out Julian Tyree's first career touchdown pass and more as we look at Sioux Falls' rich history in the SFL.
Down into the end zone, but from where he started his slide, he was short of the goal line, and Queen City ended up losing the game. That pass is caught down the field by Portis, and he will not be touched for a score. First touchdown pass for Julian Tyree of his playoff career.
That was season 6. This is season 7.
Pass, Tyree down the field, caught inside the 5, and a touchdown for Sioux Falls. Caesar Cannon and just
season 8.
2 receivers spread out. Tyree short drop hits Jalen Miller, touchdown. Row your boat, Jalen Miller, all the way from Minneapolis to Sioux Falls and into the end zone.
Season
touchdown.
9.
Chapter 12. 17, handoff to Clancy, and Clancy's got a lot more room again. Clancy's going to walk into the end zone, and Dallas is having all kinds of trouble stopping number 35.
Season 10.
33. Here he goes. Tyree's first pass in quite a while. Caught by one hand and then turning the corner. It's a touchdown.
Oh my gosh.
That is inexcusable. Out of Indianapolis as Sean Harrelson pulls a Houdini and scampers down the sideline for 6.
Season 11.
Tyree to throw. Checks it down to Hart, gains another 10, and
my
he runs
God.
it into the end zone, powering his way through for another Sioux Falls touchdown.
Way back.
Season 12.
One step drop by Tyree. Tyree dumps it off to the flats to his tight end. He got 6 as he crosses Hollywood Boulevard. Touchdown, Sparrow.
Season 13.
In the backfield for Sioux Falls, money in the box. Potentially this is some extra help on the run blitz. Doesn't matter. Hart's got some room in front of him. Broken tackle. The 15, 10, 5. Woo! To the house. That is a Sioux Falls touchdown, and they're right back in it.
5 wide receivers for this 3rd down and 6.
Just a
from
couple
the
weeks
9-yard
ago.
line. Tyree to throws towards the back corner of the end zone. That one is caught for a touchdown.
He got in.
Gunnar Lewis in the end zone.
Crazy, Cade. And they're here for the
Wow.
first time.
It's for all that they've accomplished coming in up to this moment, it's incredible to imagine that Sioux Falls is in this game for the very first time. But wow, what an exciting time it's got to be for them.
So, Cade, we're almost set for kickoff. Your keys to the game today are?
Well, it's as simple as it can be, Cam. For Atlanta, you've got to get BDG Hollywood going early. Hollywood has been a big part of Atlanta's offensive effort in the regular season and playoffs. Getting him the ball in open space early will go a long way towards a hot start for the Swarm offense. Now, for Sioux Falls, they've got to find a way to get Julian Tyree comfortable. Coming into this game with a career low in passing yards on the season, Tyree's not been forced to have to carry the load with an impressive running game behind Colin Hart and strong defensive efforts. If the run game continues to struggle as it did in the last two games, Tyree is going to need to step up in this big one here. Now, for both teams, very obvious statement here, folks. Take care of the football. Both teams tied for the fewest committed turnovers during the regular season. However, Sioux Falls turned it over 5 times against Queen City last week. Whoever does a better job of taking care of the football today is going to win this game.
And there you have it, your keys to the game. When we come back, kickoff from the Hive in Atlanta. You're watching the SFL's 14th championship game on 11 Sports and For the Fans.
Hollywood again, and he spins again and again, and he is gone. 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, BDG Hollywood. What? That's just crazy.
Crazy as AJ
no.
Levy says. Watch this. He goes past midfield.
Bye-bye.
Touchdowns with 4 of them being by somebody.
What is going on?
Tyree to the corner. Gone! Touchdown, Sioux Falls! Batten down the hatches. Get the gunner. Lewis has 6.
Thrown over the middle, and that is caught, and that is a touchdown. It is Jamal Wooding.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Hive in Atlanta, Georgia, for the SFL's 14th championship game on 11 Sports and For the Fans. Alongside Robert Garrett Jr. on stats, Cade Stevens on analysis. I am SFL Commissioner Cameron Irvine, and we are so stoked to bring you the 14th championship game today. What a day it's going to be, Cade. Your final thoughts before we get to the coin toss.
What a day indeed, Cam. You've got your number 3 Sioux Falls Sparrows and your number 1 seeded Atlanta Swarm going up against each other today, as you can clearly see from the outlook right there. 2 heavyweight teams destined to come against each other in this football game here. Boy, it's going to be a fun one. Stay close to the TV, folks. Don't go anywhere. It's only getting started.
Sioux Falls has won the toss. They elect to kick, and the Swarm will go south. Our moment to take a look at the team comparison. Cade, what do you think? In the playoffs, these teams have been unbelievable on defense, both giving up less than 19 points a game.
Yeah, absolutely incredible effort defensively from both Sioux Falls and Atlanta. Atlanta's offense very high-powered. Sioux Falls kind of getting by from strong performances on their defense, so it's going to be very interesting to see which one of these sides is going to give today in this game.
We are almost ready. Sioux Falls in the all yellow and Atlanta in the all blue with the black helmets. Both teams with black helmets. The ball's on the tee, and here we go. Kick it, we're underway. Dave Axis on the return, and Axis gets it up to the 24-yard line, and let's meet some of Atlanta's offense.
Marcus Dunhill, quarterback, Appleton, Wisconsin.
Represent Huntington, New York, running back, number 34, BDG Hollywood, a.k.a. The
It's Mitchell
Business.
O'Brien,
Let's
the
go.
fullback for the Atlanta Swarm, coming to you from St. John, New Brunswick, Canada.
Shane Short, kicker, Savannah, Tennessee.
That's your backfield and the kicker, and that is a pickup of 3 yards for BDG Hollywood out to the 27-yard line.
And Dunhill knows what he wants to do early. As I stated, one of the keys, get BDG Hollywood the football, whether it be out of the backfield in space or on the handoff in between the tackles. That's your playmaker right there.
2nd down and 7 after the Hollywood 3-yard reception. And Dunhill will drop the throw. He'll fire it deep, and it's knocked up in the air and incomplete. Let's meet some of Sioux Falls defense on the line.
James Kelly, defensive end, Little Rock, Arkansas.
Jonathan Camp, defensive end, Palm Springs, California.
Cam Crosby, defensive tackle, Sioux City, Iowa.
Third and 7 at the 27-yard line. Dunhill's first incompletion of the day. He'll fire it short. Got to turn the corner, and Siege Falco cannot. John Barnhart on the stop, and a quick 3-and-out for Atlanta to start the game.
Yeah, Falco's got to know where that line is, get to the first down marker, then cut out. Unfortunately, he came up short. Dunhill believing he had the talent there to try to make a move and get away from the tackle. He just couldn't quite do it.
A.J. Levy back to return the punt here just 1 minute into the SFL championship game. We'll get to the lineups throughout the quarter as all of the players on the field today participating in our virtual world as Levy makes 3 people miss and nearly broke out. Gets to the 49-yard line. Woo! Almost broke it. Here's Sioux Falls backfield.
Julian Tyree, quarterback, Sioux Falls.
Colin Hart, running back, from the home of Walmart, Bentonville, Arkansas.
Jalen Wells, fullback, Franklin Township, Somerset, New Jersey.
Maxwell Falk, kicker, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
First down and 10, the handoff up the middle. Goes for no gain to Jalen Wells. 2nd down and 10.
Trying to pound the ball up the middle there. Didn't really have a whole lot doing. Joshua Williams there to make the stop, the big defensive tackle.
We're live from Atlanta. No score. 14th SFL championship game. Both teams in the game for the first time. 9:12 to go in the first quarter. Trips left. Hart in the backfield, and Tyree will throw for the first time out to Hart, and Hart will only pick up a few. And let's meet some of that Atlanta defense.
Tim Cleveland, defensive end, Severn, Maryland.
Dustin Zeck, defensive end, Cleveland, Ohio.
Repping Strong Island, New York, outside linebacker, number 58, Aquantis Shine.
3rd down and 8 at midfield. Shine, the team's captain. Tyree going long. It's intercepted. Pass picked off by Jack Napier. He calls himself the Joker, and that is no laughing matter for Sioux Falls.
Napier going up and making an absolute heck of a play. That is his 2nd interception in the playoffs so far. Ball slightly underthrown to the outside, and Napier, great play on the football and a nice interception.
First down at the 29-yard line, so Atlanta gets the early momentum. There's a look at Boo Chisholm on the outside. 3 receivers, Axis in the slot to the short side left in a 3-3 defensive look for Sioux Falls. Hollywood in the backfield. He has not gotten a carry yet, and Dunhill will throw again. Dunhill, deep drop back going long. It's caught down the field by Jamal Wooding, and Wooding is hurt. A.J. Levy knocked him out cold.
Wow. I mean, way to go up and get the football if you're Jamal Wooding, but he certainly paid the price on that play, Cam, taking a huge hit from the defense, and hopefully he's all right.
Watch Levy here at the end of the play, just kind of blindsided him. I think Coach Chisholm wanted an unnecessary roughness penalty. That could be a huge loss for Atlanta.
Yeah, big playmaker for them, Jamal Wooding is. Anyways, 6 catches, 86 yards, and 2 touchdowns throughout the playoffs so far for him. So he's contributed quite mightily. They would like to have him back.
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Hollywood's first carry of the day, and Hollywood around the left side, spins back inside, picks up 6, and here's some more of that Atlanta offense receiving.
Siege Falco, wide receiver, Springfield, Missouri.
Repping Long Island, New York, wearing number 80, Boo Chisholm.
Dave, Axis of Evil, wide receiver, Knoxville, Tennessee.
And off to Hollywood, no gain.
Jamie Woods, Jamal Wooden, tight end, Atlanta, Georgia.
So there you go, the hometown guy, Cade, out on the second drive of the game, 3rd and 4.
Yeah, that's definitely not what Atlanta wants to see right now, and do not think the Sioux Falls will not be keying in on Hollywood. They have done a good job at trying to find a way to contain him so far.
Dunhill to throw, fires it outside Hollywood. It's got some open room, and Hollywood's got a first down to the 30-yard line. And, you know, Marcus Dunhill, he's an impressive guy. The 6th quarterback in the player progression era with a QBR of over 100. He did it this season.
105. Incredibly consistent Marcus Dunhill has been this year, and he's a huge reason why Atlanta won 10 games throughout season 14, and here they find themselves in the championship game.
Dunhill flips it out to Hollywood, only a pickup of 2. And also on that graphic, it mentioned that Dunhill was sacked 8 times in that Week 12 loss to Vegas. He's only been sacked once in the playoffs and has not been sacked here halfway through the first quarter.
Well, you're crazy if you try to tell me the offensive line doesn't take certain things personally. They may not say it publicly, but after that game, I'm sure Dunhill had a chat with his offensive line who took personal responsibility for that game. And as you can clearly see, Cam, the results have been tremendous since.
And off to Hollywood, only picked up 1. And that brings us to one of our more fascinating topics of the day. Check out this stat. Hollywood's career totals against Sioux Falls. In 3 meetings, the Sparrows have deployed 3-star linebackers. He has 61 carries for just 162 yards. About 2.5 yards a carry. Not good.
Not good at all. Incredible defensive effort to key in on him to get that going.
Dunhill deep. It's picked off. And that almost was a safety. Returned by Levy up past the 10 to the 15-yard line. And it is turnover central here early. 3 tackles already for A.J. Levy. A scoreless first quarter. A thrilling first quarter. We're back to the Hive after this. You're watching the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and for the fans. Don't go anywhere. Off the A.J. Levy interception, his 4th of his postseason career. 1st and 10 at the 15, 5:56 to go in the first quarter in a scoreless contest. Terrasis off the line, and Tyree fires it out. That pass is nearly intercepted, knocked away by Hamrick. Let's meet more of the Sioux Falls offense down the field.
So this is A.J. Ward, wide receiver for the Sioux Falls Sparrows.
Gunnar Lewis, wide receiver, Buffalo, New York.
Al Delapree Sr., wide receiver, Detroit, Michigan.
Noah Terrazas, tight end, Paint Rock, Texas.
So that's a look at the rest of the Sioux Falls offense, 2nd down and 10 at the 15-yard line, 5:52 to go in the first quarter. Split backs now, and the handoff goes to Wells, and Colin Hart still without a carry here in the opening period. A 2-yard gain will set up 3rd and 8.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine. I mean, Sioux Falls coming out, maybe they saw something with Atlanta's defense they wanted to take advantage of to try to force the ball downfield. Clearly, it's not worked out so far. But Colin Hart, a really big part of this Sioux Falls offense throughout the regular season. They got to get him going sometime soon.
Sioux Falls, the 3 seed in the playoffs. Atlanta, the number 1 overall seed, 10-4, 12-2 respectively. Here's a 3rd down for Tyree. Fires it down the field. That pass is caught by Warren to the 32-yard line, a pickup of 14 yards, and that'll move the chains for Sioux Falls.
Excellent job by the Sioux Falls offense there to try to spread these defensive backs out. It looked like tight man coverage, but able to squeeze the ball in there is Tyree. Nice catch, nice gain, nice first down, move those chains.
Sioux Falls on 3rd down has been sensational. Top 8 each of the last 4 seasons. Only Baltimore has accomplished that feat. 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line, as that pass is hauled in and complete to Terrain James to pick up 9, 2nd and 1.
A nice catch by James, and there's no coincidence that that high 3rd down percentage rate has led them to where they are. As you saw there on 3rd and 8 earlier, they're able to convert. It's the tough 3rd downs that Sioux Falls has made happen, leading to a very high 3rd down conversion percentage.
4.5 to go in the quarter, no score. Tyree steps up in the pocket and is drilled. A loss of 4 will set up another 3rd down, and of course, it's Joshua Williams.
Joshua Williams had something to say about that on that play. He's had 3.5 sacks up to this point in the playoffs, make it 4.5 as he adds another one onto the resume. Big playoff for Joshua Williams.
Joshua Williams, no sacks in Atlanta's 2 losses, but now he has 4 sacks here in the playoffs. 3rd down and 5 at the 37-yard line, as that is hauled in by Gunnar Lewis at the top of the screen. Gets a first down to the 49 and another 3rd down conversion for Sioux Falls.
It's what they do. They've done it all season long, and they're doing it again. Gunnar Lewis, great catch on the outside and a nice throw by Julian Tyree to make something happen.
3:50 to go in the first quarter. Sioux Falls putting a drive together here, the first team to really do so today. Nickel look out of the Atlanta defense. Split backs. Tyree will throw again out to Wells, and that's a pickup of 3. What do you make of this lack of Colin Hart? Jamal Wooding is done, folks. He is out for the game.
An absolute bummer for Atlanta to lose Jamal Wooding for the game. A huge part of their offense, integral piece, some might say. And Cam, to answer your question, I'm a little perplexed myself about Jalen Wells getting the majority of the touches here. Colin Hart, like I said before, a huge piece of the Sioux Falls offense coming into this game.
2nd and 7 outside. That pass is hauled in by J.J. McGee. And by the way, the backup tight ends on the Swarm squad, Alan Chisholm and Maine Howard, will have to step up in a major way, and we'll see if they do later down the line.
Yeah, it's going to be it's a big deal for Atlanta to get that going. Jamal Wooding, like we said before, big part of their offense most of the season and into the playoffs, and a lot of weight on those guys' shoulders.
Tyree to throw. That pass is a little underthrown, and Jay Miraculous nearly got his paws on it, and Atlanta ends up bending but not breaking as the 42s, Levy and Miraculous, have something to say about that play, and another punt coming for Sioux Falls.
Well, you saw the athleticism from Miraculous on that play, Cam, as he's able to tip the ball back, do a 180 to turn around and nearly intercept the thing and take it back the other way. And as you said, the 42s are on fire defensively so far in this game.
If you'd like to get involved in the Simulation Football League Twitch chat, visit twitch.tv/FTFnext to join the conversation with this record audience. Inside the 10, in down to the 5, to the 4, to the 3-yard line. Sioux Falls pins Atlanta way back. No score. It feels like a championship. And we're back to the Hive after this. 2:46 to go in the first quarter. Atlanta starts with the ball on their own 3-yard line. 2 backs and 2 receivers out of the eye for Dunhill. Dunhill will hand it off to BDG Hollywood, who's nearly brought down for a safety. They'll give him forward progress to the 2. Let's meet some more of this tenacious Sioux Falls defense.
Jose Fuentes, outside linebacker, New York.
Alex Parker, linebacker, Miami.
Nick Fargo, linebacker, Bloomington, Indiana.
And those 3 linebackers are a force. We touched on it a little bit earlier. Hollywood up the gut. BDG Hollywood with some space. Gets 11 yards and enough for a first down.
What a cutback by Hollywood on that play. Starts right, sees it's clearly not there. Comes back to the left side, and there you go, Atlanta Swarm fans. That's a first down after being in the shadow of your own goal line.
Cam Frosby just whiffed on that play. Don't see that often.
No, not too often, but you got the talent of BDG Hollywood there is just outrageous, Cam.
First down and 10 at the 13-yard line. I formation again here for Dunhill. Will drop to throw. Dunhill clean pocket, fires down the middle of the field. That pass is incomplete. Looking for Siege Falco, and the ball looked a bit underthrown as Levy gets another hand on it.
Boy, he was trying for the next one. He wanted number 2 already, and just strong safety A.J. Levy already in this game, making a huge difference for that Sioux Falls defense.
Put that number up to 4, and don't forget that Levy, one of 3 players this season with a punt return touchdown, nearly did it the first time in this game. Got it last week in the semifinals against Queen City. Second down and 10 with 1:50 to go in the first quarter. Dunhill to throw, fires an out route to the far side. That pass is caught by Boo Chisholm, and let's meet the rest of this Sioux Falls defense in the secondary.
John Barnhart, cornerback, Detroit, Michigan.
Terrell Davis, cornerback, Maryland.
Jay Ringgold, free safety, Peoria, Arizona.
A.J. Levy, strong safety, Detroit, Michigan.
Third down and 10 at the 13-yard line as Dunhill will fire it over the middle. The pass is caught right at the sticks for the first down. Casey Morgan, that's what you call efficiency.
Wow. I'm not going to lie, when he let go of that football, I've never been more nervous than I think I've been in my entire life, as I thought that was potentially going the other way. But, man, Marcus Dunhill, once again, impressing as he's able to squeeze that one in for the first down.
1:20 to go in the first quarter. No score between Sioux Falls and Atlanta. Dropping back to pass, fires it out to Hollywood. BDG Hollywood past the 30, got a first down all by himself. Barnhart with the tackle. Barnhart had 5 picks last week against Queen City.
5 picks last week. Absolutely incredible, the effort from Barnhart so far, and the tackle that he just made right there, I believe, is tied his effort for interceptions. But boy, that's what Atlanta does, is they get the ball out in space to BDG Hollywood, who makes plays. As you can see, coming into this game, 7 interceptions in the postseason, 6 tackles. He is now 7-7. So we are even. Absolutely incredible stat there, Cam.
That is foolish, and good job by you doing your homework on that one. That pass is caught for an 8-yard pickup, and up to the 41-yard line. That is Alan Chisholm with his first catch in for Jamal Wooding, who's hurt and done for the day.
Good catch, and as we said earlier, he's going to have to step up. You know, Jamal Wooding, a really integral piece of this Atlanta offense. And good job by Chisholm making that catch, giving them a very manageable 2nd and 2.
Hollywood got free down the outside. 35-30. Ringgold chasing. Breaks a tackle, and Fargo brings him down to the 18-yard line. And for the first time today, we have a team in the red zone. Hollywood, 58 yards on 6 carries.
Cam, when he got around the corner on the last cut there, I didn't think they were going to be able to stop him, but around the ankles as he caught BDG Hollywood. A great run right there off to the right side of Atlanta's offensive line, and a nice run to get them down in the red zone.
This might be the last play of a scoreless first quarter, but it has been exciting to the finish. A near punt return, 2 interceptions, a sack, an injury, a big run from Hollywood, a couple of third down conversions. It's been nuts. Dunhill drops it short, and Hollywood has to lay out for it. Pass incomplete with 1 second on the first quarter clock.
I don't think Dunhill was ready to get rid of that football. Felt the pressure coming up the middle of the defensive line just a little bit. and went ahead and tossed it out. Unfortunately, just a little too far for Hollywood to get to.
Coming up on the SFL Halftime Show presented by Apple Rush, the Hurricane Shane Band makes history as the first virtual concert in the SFL. You won't want to miss it. 2nd and 10 at the 18-yard line. Hollywood is to the left of Dunhill. He'll get the reception past the 15, spins away, and Fargo brings him down at the 11. And that ends the first quarter of play. Sioux Falls nothing, Atlanta nothing. It's anybody's game, and the Swarm are in scoring position when we come back. You're watching the SFL's 14th championship game on 11 Sports and for the fans. Back here at the Hive in Atlanta, Georgia. Sioux Falls and Atlanta are scoreless. It's a 3rd down and 3 alongside Robert Garrett Jr., Cade Stevens. I'm Cameron Irvine. They're going to hand it off to Hollywood, and Hollywood is buried in the backfield. Jose Fuentes, the former Atlanta Swarm member, coming in and destroying the party.
Fuentes knew where that was going the entire way, read it perfectly, unblocked into the backfield with all that momentum, absolutely buried him.
So the field goal from Shane Short will be from 30 yards to try to get our first points of an extremely competitive SFL championship game first half. And the snap and hold is perfect, like they've been doing it all season. And from 30 yards, Atlanta's field goal is good. And we get a chance to catch our breath here just for a little bit. The stat summary here: Julian Tyree 6 of 9 for 43 yards. Marcus Dunhill 9 of 14 for 77 yards. The leading receiver is Jamal Wooding with that 30-yard catch, but he's out. A.J. Warren's got 15 yards on 1 target. Colin Hart, 0 carries. He does have 1 catch for 2 yards. And Jalen Wells only 2 carries for 2 yards. Hollywood has been the star, 56 yards on 7 carries. Fuentes already with 4 solo tackles for the Sparrows. Thanks to Robert Garrett Jr. for those up-to-the-minute stats as Levy returns it up to the 28-yard line. And we get a chance to examine Julian Tyree's wonderful season and his wonderful postseason career. He's improved his all-time QBR by nearly 10 points in the playoffs, and you can see where he ranks among the best in the SFL.
Yeah, what's been very unique about Julian Tyree this season is he's only done what he's had to do, and he's taken care of the football, and he's leaned on a defense and a great run game, actually, from Colin Hart, who we've still not really seen today.
Isn't that something? I mean, I would have thought they have been trending more towards Tyree over the last few weeks, and you mentioned it in your pregame keys, getting him comfortable, very important for them.
Absolutely, and they're still working on getting that done. Very early in the game, they were working on shots downfield. It was not working out, as you've seen in the last drive or so. They're taking a little bit a shorter approach to this. Get him comfortable, make these short throws.
Wells on the fullback handoff gets a first down and drags Williams and Dylan Rowland with him. What a run.
What a run by Wells, who found a hole where there was not one. And as you said, took a couple guys with him to get up to the first down marker. Move those chains, Sioux Falls.
9:40 to go in the first half. I formation for Tyree here. This is the first time we've seen this heavy set. 8 on the line. They hand it off to Wells. Wells gets a lead block. He lost the ball, and it's recovered by Sioux Falls. And it is, I thought it was Wells there for a second that recovered his own fumble, but it looked to be Miles Portis at tight end.
Wells got absolutely blistered on that play, and the ball hit the turf, and chaos ensued. Unfortunately, was not able to tell who got on top of that football for sure, but wow, incredible play there.
2nd and 4, hand off to Wells. He's just 1 yard short. Let's meet some more of this Atlanta defense.
Jack Napier, defensive back, Gotham.
Joshua Williams, defensive tackle from the Rose City, Tyler, Texas.
I'm Dylan Rowland, number 40, Atlanta Swarm.
3rd down and 1. They'll hand it off to Hart. It's a miracle for Sioux Falls, and he's got a first down, a 5-yard pickup up to the Atlanta 47-yard line.
Yeah, the long overdue first carry for Colin Hart on that play, and you see why he's been so successful this season. The vision of Colin Hart to get to the left side, cut back in, pick the right hole, and get a first down for Sioux Falls.
How about Jack Napier's introduction? Sometimes it's just irresistible to be somebody else, isn't it?
Why would you not? Come on.
1st and 10 at the 47. We like to have fun here. 8:13 to go in the first half. Trips off the right side. And Hart will go out that direction, but the pass instead is out to Noe Terrasis to the Atlanta 37. Best drive of the day for Sioux Falls with 8 minutes to go in the first half.
Yeah, not close. Good throw, I want to point out, by Julian Tyree stepping up and getting the ball there as he came back on almost a stoppie, but kept kind of moving a little backwards, and the ball ended up getting over the first down marker, and Sioux Falls is moving the chains once again. As you said, best drive of the game so far for them.
Tyree, clean pocket, checks it down. Pass caught immediately by Terrain James. A 4-yard pickup, and that'll set up a 2nd down and 6.
Very manageable 2nd down, and this is what I'm talking about by getting Julian Tyree comfortable. He's making the short throws. He's making it happen when it matters the most. And once again, this 3rd down production has been extraordinarily good. Here they are, 2nd and 6. Very manageable 2nd and 6. Leaves pretty much the entire playbook open.
Split backs, and that is a handoff. First down to Wells. Wells picks up 9 yards to move the chains with 7 minutes to go. And Atlanta's defense, man, they have been impressive this season. 4th in the SFL, clearly the best they've ever been.
Yeah, clearly the best they've ever been by far. 14th season, allowing just 20.5 points per game, ranked 4th. This Atlanta defense has been a force to be reckoned with.
First down and 10 at the 24. They're shutting out Sioux Falls right now, but the Sparrows are on the move in a very it's about an even game as you can get. 6:45 to go in the second quarter. Tyree drops the throw, flips it outside to Hart. Hart past the 20. Hart got a block, and Hart near a first down. Nice job by A.J. Warren on the outside to spring Hart for a few more yards.
Yeah, A.J. Warren, you don't see it successful too often to go up high on a big running back like that and be successful with the tackle, but he gets him down just short of the first down. Colin Hart, a lot of people don't realize, just like BDG Hollywood, very successful in the passing game out of the backfield.
2nd and inches, 2 in the backfield now. Wells and Hart, and Atlanta got the beat off the line. They're going to give Hart the first down. Aquantis Shine makes the tackle, and Aquantis Shine He is just a monster. 128 total tackles this season, second amongst linebackers only to DJ Majesty out of Tulsa.
Absolutely incredible effort by Qantas Shine this season, and that is just an absolute, I can't say too much more about Atlanta's defense than the fact that he's been the clear-cut leader of that linebacking core and that defense.
No challenge, so Sioux Falls gets the first down of the 14-yard line, but applying some pressure, Sam Armand, who comes in as a backup, as this drive is now extended to 12 plays.
Yeah, long drive for Sioux Falls here. They're killing a lot of clock in the process of getting down into the red zone. They're very deep in Atlanta territory. They want a touchdown here. They would like to take the lead.
Second down and 10 of the 14. Tyree will fire it outside. Tipped and incomplete. Jay Miraculous getting a hand on it. Miraculous playing some of his best football down the stretch.
Yeah, not even close. The 42s, both of them having a big day today. Miraculous, if he can somehow come up with that football on a one-handed interception, he's got a clear path all the way to the other end zone, and that would be a touchdown for Atlanta.
Third down and 10 of the 14. Sioux Falls known for their third down efficiency. They're 3 for 5 today. This is their 26th play of the first half. 5:40 to go. Tyree fires an outside pass caught by Lewis, who's been pretty quiet today, but he cannot turn the corner, and it was that pressure out of the slot defensive back there that probably forced that throw a little wider than Tyree would have liked, and Maxwell Falk will come out to try to tie the game.
Yeah, I think it forced it a little wider than he wanted, and maybe not his intended receiver to begin with, but the pressure coming at him very quickly, he didn't have much of a choice but to get rid of that football.
So a drive, 13-play, 61-yard drive follows a 12-play, 84-yard drive that resulted in a field goal for Atlanta. And this very long drive for Sioux Falls has resulted in the same, this one from 27. Sioux Falls 3, Atlanta 3. The fireworks, I'm sure they're coming. You're watching the SFL's 14th championship game on 11 Sports and for the fans. Don't go anywhere. .5:15 to go in the first half. Sioux Falls 3, Atlanta 3. What a game. We have had 3 straight 10-plus play drives in this contest from the end zone axis. Smashed at the 22-yard line. For those of you viewing for the first time, what are you watching? The Simulation Football League is the first controllerless esport, allowing you, the viewer, to participate in all the action on the field without a controller in your hands. Visit simulation.football for details on how to get started with a team and in the league. Here's Hollywood's updated numbers as we hit 1st and 10. Hand off to Hollywood, and Hollywood will only pick up a yard. Levy and Fuentes on the tackle. What a half for both those defenders.
Oh, for sure. And Levy, boy, he's just been everywhere, coming up and making plays in the run game from the strong safety position, but also in the pass game as he has in a single interception, what could potentially be multiple for him so far. Don't be surprised if you see him get his hands on the football again today.
2nd and 9 of the 23. 2 receivers, one to the bottom, or both to the bottom of the screen, short side right. Dunhill will throw it out to Hollywood. Hollywood spins away and picks up a few to bring up a 3rd down and 5. But Hollywood is ever so dangerous in the open field. He's tied with Ray Bentley among running backs in yards per catch this season.
And you can definitely tell that Atlanta is doing their best to try to spread it out to the outside with Hollywood, giving him the football on a few swing passes so far. And as you can see, whether there's a defender or not, he is ever so elusive.
Dunhill's pass drilled over the middle, complete to the 40. Slow to get up his boot, Chisholm, but he will get up.
Yeah, great catch by Boo Chisholm in traffic. And who else would it be but A.J. Levy that would be in there to make the tackle and lay down an absolute hammer of a hit. But great throw and catch from Marcus Dunhill to Boo Chisholm on that play.
Levy is just crazy out there today, and you know he wants this probably more than most in the league for 4.5 years, trying to get his first title. 3:45 to go in the first half. The handoff to Hollywood, and Hollywood will again only pick up 2 yards, 59 yards, but without that 40-yard carry, he would have 19 yards on 8 carries, and that is more like what Sioux Falls has averaged against him over the history of this matchup.
And Atlanta's doing their best with BDG Hollywood to poke and find the right spot. Where's the soft spot where they can get this going? And I have a feeling we've not seen the last of BDG Hollywood's big runs today.
Dunhill's pass to Chisholm dropped down the field. The first time that Jamal Wooding is severely missed. Alan Chisholm with the drop. Fuentes in coverage will bring up 3rd down and 8. Atlanta is 3 for 6 on 3rd down, as is Sioux Falls.
And a great throw on that play by Marcus Dunhill, and actually a pretty good route by Chisholm out on the outside. I'm not sure if he heard the footsteps coming from behind, but the ball hit him in the hands and unfortunately fell to the turf, leaving them with a 3rd and 8 to go.
For the first time, we'll see 5 wide empty here for Atlanta. Sioux Falls counters with a nickel. Deep ball, Dunhill. The pass is knocked away by Davis. How do these Sparrows just keep finding the football? It's almost like the passes are intended for them, and Atlanta will have to punt.
Certainly the way it's looking, Cam, I'm not sure if that one was only slightly underthrown or where it was intended to go, but Davis, a great play coming from the cornerback position on that one.
So the punt coming for Chris Smith, 6'2", 215. Haven't seen a lot of punts here in this first half. A very tight defensive battle here as Levy will get it up to the 23. Let's meet the rest of this Atlanta Swarm defense.
Fox Highwind, linebacker, Chattanooga, Tennessee.
My name is Blake Hamrick, number 25, Atlanta Swarm.
The Real Moose, Papineau, free safety, Cumberland, Rhode Island.
Jay Miraculous, free safety, exit 21, New York.
I'm Aaron Lee, number 20, Atlanta Swarm.
Julian Tyree with the sneak picks up 1. And Kate, I'm just going to say it right now. The next time I need a voiceover, I'm calling Moose Papineau.
I could not agree with you more as I heard that. Boy, it just gave me little chills there, Ken.
If a moose could talk, that's how it would sound.
I'd like to imagine. 2nd
and 9 at the 24 after the Tyree sneak, his first carry of the day. He'll do that from time to time. The handoff goes to Hart, stretch play left, and Hart is blasted by a Qantas Shine, and the offenses just keep on getting punched in the mouth. Colin Hart in the postseason, ridiculous. He averages a touchdown every 9.6 carries over his career, just 6 yards on 3 carries so far.
Absolutely incredible. He's not seen the football more in this game, and he was about a half a foot from potentially getting on the outside and breaking that one out. Of Qantas Shine had something to say about that.
3rd and 9. That pass is whacked away from Terrain James. 2:01 on the clock, and just before the 2-minute warning, Sioux Falls will have to punt the football.
Boy, just a back and forth. These defenses doing what these defenses have done all season long and through the playoffs. They stand up, they bend a little, but they have not broken, and they are doing the same thing in this game here.
This is about as exciting a defensive ball game as I have ever seen. Atlanta with 153 total yards of offense. Sioux Falls with 106. We've come to the 2-minute warning. We're all tied in the 14th SFL championship game. One of these teams will get their first championship here this afternoon. You're watching the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and for the fans. 1:53 to go in the first half. Sioux Falls 3, Atlanta 3 here in the SFL championship game with 3 backs in the backfield with Dunhill. He'll hand it off to BDG Hollywood, who is hitting the backfield, and then 5 different Sparrows in your picture. Fuentes comes away with a tackle. This is absurdity.
Cornerback Terrell Davis was the first person there to hit Hollywood in the backfield, and I got to give Hollywood just a little bit of credit on this play because he had absolutely no chance and still found a way to lose just 1 yard on that play.
Second down, 11 at the 42. Dunhill going to throw. Dunhill, clean pocket, deep shot, is caught at the 34-yard line. That's Boo Chisholm with the reception.
Boo, boo, who are you? He makes the catch down the field. Dunhill, heck of a throw on the outside. Boo goes up and gets it with his hands. Ladies and gentlemen, that's how you make a catch.
1:05 to go, and Atlanta back in scoring position just before the half. Gonna throw out to Hollywood, past the 30. Hollywood breaks a tackle, gets to the 25. Here we go, no huddle, 52 seconds and counting. Sioux Falls shuffles to the line, and they've got nickel look, but plenty on the line of scrimmage, about 8 of them. They'll flip it out to Hollywood. He's got open field again, past the 20. Oh, man! Pick up the guy's ankles, give him back to him, and take him to the hospital for surgery down to the 12-yard line, BDG.
And that's exactly what BDG Hollywood gives you. That's the play Atlanta wanted in that situation. They went no huddle, close and quick to the offensive line. They had nobody on the outside to get Hollywood, and Hollywood makes Levy absolutely fall to the turf looking for his ankles.
Levy, bro, come on. I've never seen anybody shake Levy like that. What a play from BDG. Atlanta taking some momentum into the locker room. 39 seconds to go before the end of the first half. 3 receivers, 2 to the top of the screen. A nickel look again there for Sioux Falls. Hollywood in the backfield. Dunhill back to pass. Dunhill fires. Oh, a sliding grab. Oh, my goodness. Atlanta pulling out all the stops at the end of the second quarter. That's Siege Falco, and I'll give it to him for 8 yards.
Marcus Dunhill with an amazing job to get rid of the football just in time. Tons of pressure coming from the left side, turns, looks, and gets the ball to Siege Falco, who makes a nice catch, and they burn a timeout to go ahead and stop the clock there.
34 seconds to go in the first half. 2nd and 2 at the 3. 3 backs in the backfield for Atlanta, trying to get the first touchdown of the day. Flip outside to Hollywood, and Sioux Falls is all over it. A loss of a yard. I think that was Fuentes. Again, it might have actually been Davis. 23 seconds, 22 seconds. What are they going to do here? 4 yards from the end zone. Dunhill going to throw again. Dunhill out to Hollywood. BDG Hollywood touchdown!
Oh my goodness. I mean, who else was going to score on this? He's made plays out of the backfield all day so far. He's done it all season. He's done it for his entire career. And there he goes, getting his touchdown right here in SFL Season 14 championship game. BDG Hollywood, ladies and gentlemen.
Fuentes got confused in some zone. It looked like he was going to go out to Hollywood, and then he thought, no, I got somebody else to cover here, and that left BDG wide open, and Shane Short can make it a 7-point game.
Yeah, best series of events that probably could have happened for Atlanta right there was to have to run the no huddle because it looked like it really worked out for him. Sioux Falls' defense left in disarray most of that drive.
Extra point for Short is good. Coming up on the SFL Halftime Show, presented by Apple Rush, the Hurricane Shane Band make history as the first virtual concert in the SFL. You won't want to miss it, as Hurricane Shane will rock the hive and give us here on the broadcast booth a chance to catch our breath.
We're going to need it after a first half like this, ladies and gentlemen.
A.J. Levy back to return. Kick return and punt return touchdown this season, and he's done that multiple seasons of his career from the 3-yard line. Levy cannot shake the defender. That was Devin Lee. Came out of nowhere, unblocked to make first contact before the 20.
Yeah, great job to get downfield very quickly. Just couldn't quite make the tackle. Good job by Levy to kind of drag through and get the ball up to the 28 with 11 seconds despite having 3 timeouts. I don't foresee any sort of offensive effort moving forward on this drive.
2 in the backfield. It's certainly not looking like Sioux Falls is going to get overly aggressive here. They're going to hand it off to Hart. Hart can break one at any time, but he cut it back inside. and gets wrapped up by Papineau. Surprised he did that. Sioux Falls will regroup maybe to try that again. We've seen that a couple of times, Kate, out of Colin Hart today, where he's getting back inside into the teeth of this defense.
Well, listen, he's gotten the ball, 4 times now, and if they, plays just like that, he gained 5 yards. It's been a surprise to me that that's all he's seen the ball in the run game. I think during the second half, Sioux Falls might want to reevaluate that situation.
Well, we'll see what they do here from the 33-yard line. I say give it to Hart again. At this point, you got to get Hart comfortable, too. I feel like Tyree has settled down, 11 for 17, 76 yards. Has had a pretty good half. Hart has been very quiet, 11 yards on 4 carries. So get one more here before the half. Breaks a tackle, got blockers out in front. Hart gets a block, and the last play of the half, he's going to be tackled at the Atlanta 40. But you never know what that can do for a man's confidence as Sioux Falls ends the first half on a high note.
What a great way to end it right there, Cam. Colin Hart had something to say about his lack of touches in the first half, and you saw it right there on that long run. He wants to come out in the second half and have a strong performance. That's going to be Sioux Falls' best bet to get going here.
We have reached halftime, and let's first take a look at the first half stats, highlights, and analysis. Wow, BDG Holly with the lone score. He did it through the air. What a competitive first half of play. That was a lot of fun.
Boy, that was a blast. Had an absolute blast seeing it happen. Atlanta going mostly through the air, as you can see right there, 152 to Sioux Falls' 75 passing yards. A lot of those to Boo Chisholm and BDG Hollywood. BDG Hollywood getting a lot of catches out of the backfield, also going for 58 yards there on his own. But exciting first half. I mean, both teams, defensive-wise, bend but not break. As we said before, it's the same thing they've done throughout the season and through the postseason, Cam.
I feel like, Cade, that Gunnar Lewis has got to get going. He has been sensational. He's got a touchdown in the last 5 games and already 4 touchdowns in his first 2 playoff games, just 16 yards on 2 receptions. He's just been nowhere.
Yeah, he's been a big part of Sioux Falls' offense, and signing late, I guess early in the season here in season 14. Give a lot of credit to the general manager, AJ Levy, for Sioux Falls for finding and picking up such a quality talent at wide receiver. Gunnar Lewis, an integral part of the Sioux Falls offense. They've got to get him and Colin Hart heavily involved in the second half.
Atlanta gets the touchdown on a 7-play, 59-yard drive. At one point in that half, we had 6 straight drives of at least 7 plays. That is great football. No 3 and outs here.
No 3 and outs. Very early on, a couple turnovers, and then we had some sustained drives that got down to the red zone and unfortunately struggled just a little bit. But both of these teams are kind of getting their wits about them, getting their wheels rolling a little bit, as you saw Sioux Falls really kind of turn it on there at the end of the first half.
The SFL halftime show presented by Apple Rush is coming up next, and while they get situated for the game, we'll get your keys to the second half here in a little bit. But first, the Simulation Football League's halftime show is presented by V-Bar, by Apple Rush Sparkling Juice, by APRU Brands, by Key West Southernmost Bourbon Whiskey, and by Simple Vodka. Please drink responsibly, of course. And by Rock Harbor Radio. Those guys getting set up on the field right now as the Hurricane Shane Band is coming your way. While they continue Prepcade, your thoughts on what we need to see in the second half from both of these units?
Well, from Sioux Falls, I think it's very clear Colin Hart has not been involved as much in this game as I would like to see. He's been a huge piece of the Sioux Falls offense so far this season. Had a major streak of 100-yard rushing games we will touch on just a little bit later, and has been a big reason why they've been successful. You mentioned Gunnar Lewis, also another big part of the offense. The Sioux Falls offense has struggled once they've kind of got down the field. Get those guys involved, we may see something different. As far as Atlanta goes, keep BDG Hollywood going. We have seen exactly what we've expected from him out of the backfield in the pass game. Absolutely incredible effort from him so far. He's got 1 touchdown through the air. And get him going a little bit more, I would say, in the run game, and you'll see potentially some of those passing lanes open up just a little bit more for Boo Chisholm, Siege Falco, and Dave Axis. They are unfortunately missing Jamal Wooding for the rest of the game as he has suffered an injury. Both of these teams have done a phenomenal job in the first half.
Let's get it down to the field.
My name is Jason.
And my name is Spider, and we are the superstars of Rock Carpet Radio.
Yes, we are, and we are coming to you live from the V-Bar desk, but we're not in our normal location at the Hideaway Studios.
We're on the field!
Woo! And welcome to the SFL Halftime Show presented by Apple Rush, Element C, Simple Vodka,
Key West Smuggler's Whiskey.
I know that's your favorite. I knew you were going to say that. I knew it was going to be your favorite. Well, we just want to welcome you to this iconic and historical moment. This is the first time that a live band is going to be playing a halftime show inside the game for the SFL. It is an amazing time, don't you think, Spider?
It is. Are you ready to rock out? I'm ready to rock out.
I am. And even though it's been an exciting game between the Sparrows and the Swarm, this is going to be an amazing moment. And the band has been setting up. The AAG live crew has been getting all the technical stuff on the field ready to go. And I know that they're almost ready to do this.
Absolutely. And if you guys are ready to be entertained before the game starts back up, are you ready for it? I think I hear it.
I think so. I hear some drums. And guess what, Ready? We're ready to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Hurricane Shane Band.
Let's roar!
Scream! We need to get a little buzz around here today. Woo! Here we go. All right. Well, I was acting like an ass, kicking like a mule, riding a horse named Barstool, getting more chills than a rodeo star till I fell on my face on my way to the car. Boots up, face down. The crowd cheers. One more beer as I'm flat on the floor. I didn't know how buzzed I was. I didn't know how buzzed I was. When I was sitting on the grass, enjoying the view, big wrist tailgate started at 2. Toasting new friends with my mason jar, busting out moves, playing air guitar. Big stands, shots slammed, and I'm passed out cold. Money's gone, my money's gone as the band hit the road. I didn't know how buzzed I was. I didn't know how buzzed I was. When it's time to go to news with my dancing boots, gonna dance, gonna swing, gonna have another drink, gonna dance, gonna swing, music takes the words away. That's right, catch a little buzz right. World's best man that I ever did see, across the room, every eyes on me. Forgot the bride's name in the middle of my toes. Dropped the F-bomb twice, so they asked me to go. They said, sit down, shut up, don't say a word. Cut off, sober up, everything's a blur. Everything's a blur. I didn't know how buzzed I was. girl. Walking down on Carnaby Street, smiling at everybody she meets. She's got to get there right on time. Laughs her way through that pickup line, 'cause she's the it girl. My little it girl. My crazy it girl. My little it girl. When you meet her down at the Market Square, every guy's gonna stop and stare. So grab back out to the photo shoot. The barrister's got a new lawsuit, 'cause she's my it girl. Yeah, she's my it girl. My crazy it girl. My little it girl. Saturday she'll take the train to Bishopsgate. Have a Sparta tea with the Queen. Off to see her mum. No, she can't be late. 'Cause at 5 o'clock, that's the new scene of the stage. Let's go! Somebody scream! Tick-tock time at the Wilson boy. Every boy's gonna be her toy. At midnight she'll jump out of the cake. When she leaves that room, every heart will break. 'Cause she's my it girl. My little it girl. My little it girl. My crazy it girl. 'Cause she's my it girl. She's my it girl, my crazy it girl, my little it girl. She's my little it girl, my little it girl, my little it girl. She's my little it girl.
Oh, we can't wait to get back to the beaches. We are headed for a good time. This is a new one off our new album right here. It goes something like this. You got the sunshine, I got the ocean, got the mountain, you got the top down. Gonna head down to downtown, you got your head down, head down. I don't know, we're gonna go now, maybe tomorrow, maybe won't now. We don't have to be back soon, we're gonna head down, head down. Come on, little baby, won't you run with me? 'Cause it don't have to be so loud. You wait and say, come on baby, let's be free. There's a part of you and me that only you and I can see. We're headed for a good time. Come on baby, don't you know that we'll be high, we'll bear our load. So drop the top and off we go. Hey now, we're headed for a good time. Headed for a good time. We got the sunshine, we got the moonlight. With the reflection, I waited all night. Gonna head down to downtown. You got your head down, head down. And if tomorrow, we can head now. Get the top down and we can head out. We don't have to be back soon. You got your head down, head down. Come on, little lady, won't you run with me? 'Cause yesterday is so far gone. Let it be. Come on, baby, let's be free. There's a part of you and me that only you and I can see. We're headed for a good time.
we're headed for a good time. Come on, baby, don't you know that we'll be high within our love? So drop the top and off we go, headed for a good time. Headed for a time, yeah. Come on, baby, don't you know that we'll be high within our love? So drop the top and off we go. Hey, now we're headed for a good time. Thank you so much, Atlanta! Let's keep it going.
Early Sunday morning, seemed like Saturday at 5. Remind me of a memory we're done to see your side. Afternoon on Sunday, like Saturday surprise. Out of the tonight, run up with the tide. I'm off in love, this loving cup, 'cause I know that I'm right. I don't want to take no bad advice.
I'm walking out the door.
I don't need to learn this lesson twice.
'Cause that's what love's for.
Every situation has a certain point of view. Sunday evening papers, message ringing true. Caught up in the youngsters, shifting state of mind. Sunday evening papers for the undeserving kind. I'm all this stuff, loving cup, and I know that I'm right. I don't want to take your bad advice.
I'm walking out the door.
I don't need to learn this lesson twice.
'Cause that's what love's for.
I don't want to take no bad advice.
I'm walking out the door.
I don't need to learn this lesson twice.
'Cause that's what love's for.
Stop!
Atlanta, let me hear you out there. We got some beautiful people out here tonight.
Monday morning. Woke up Monday morning, staring at the play. So I wish that Sunday, the neighbors sleeping late.
I'll save it, baby.
Oh, they burn down. Many days go by. Didn't pack my man round, but I let you fly. I'm on the shelf, it's nothing cup, 'cause I know that I'm right. I don't want to take no bad advice.
Walking out the door.
I don't need to learn this lesson twice.
'Cause that's what love's for.
I don't want to take no bad advice.
I'm walking out the door.
I don't need to learn this lesson twice.
'Cause that's what love is for. That's what play another song off our new album. This is our single that's coming out very soon. Check us out. We are Hurricane Shane. Welcome to our Super Giant Rock Show. 1, 2. Super Giant Rock Show. Oh yeah. Super Giant Rock Show. Oh yeah. Super Giant Rock Show. Oh yeah. Melt your face with superstars. Drums, lights, big guitars. We don't even have to tell you who we are. We can blow the roof off all of the bars. We're just a Super Giant Rock Show. Oh yeah. We can't even tell you where we're gonna be. All we know is it's in your vicinity. Bigger than you ever heard or ever seen. Hey there, baby, won't you come with me? Super Giant Rock Show. Oh yeah. Super Giant Rock Show. Oh yeah. Super Giant Rock Show. Oh yeah. Melt your face with superstars. Super Giant Rock Show. Oh yeah. Super Giant Rock Show. Oh yeah. Super Giant Rock Show. Oh yeah. Melt your face with superstars. Jaeger and the ladies all on the bus. It's a rock and roll party, leave it all to us. We're the one the mother told you not to trust. Super Giant Rock Show, come with us. No one ever tell you where we're gonna be. Buy another t-shirt for your family. Bigger than you ever heard or ever seen. Baby, everyone's come with me. Super Giant Rock Show. Oh yeah. Super Giant Rock Show. Oh yeah. Super Giant Rock Show. Oh yeah. Now it's your face with superstars. Super Giant Rock Show. Oh yeah. Super Giant Rock Show. Oh yeah. Super Giant Rock Show. Oh yeah. Now it's your face with superstars. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls from Atlanta, welcome to our Super Giant Rock Show. Super Giant Rock Show, oh yeah, Super Giant Rock Show. Giant Rock Show, oh yeah, Super Giant Rock Show, oh yeah, Super Giant Rock Show, oh yeah, melt your face with superstars. Super Giant Rock Show. Oh yeah, Super Giant Rock Show. Oh yeah, Super Giant Rock Show. Oh yeah, melt your face and superstars. Right, that's a Super Giant Rock Show. Oh yeah, Super Giant Rock Show. Oh yeah, Super Giant Rock Show. Oh yeah, melt your face with superstars. Right, that's a Super Giant Rock Show. Oh yeah, Super Giant Rock Show. Oh yeah, Super Giant Rock Show. Oh yeah, melt your face with superstars. Rock Show. Oh yeah, that's a Super Giant Rock Show. Oh yeah, Super Giant Rock Show. Oh yeah, melt your face with superstars. Thank you so much. Welcome to our Super Giant Rock Show. Hang out. Good night. We love you all. Atlanta. Give me 20. Give me 20 on the 50-yard line.
How about that, Cade Stevens? What a halftime.
What a halftime indeed. Hey, listen, welcome in. If you've never seen something like that before, you've seen it now. So what a fun time. I'm going to be singing that song probably for the rest of the game, I think, here, Cam. Maybe the rest of the day, maybe the rest of the week.
Atlanta 10, Sioux Falls 3. The third quarter about to get underway here soon, but one last thought on the first half, Cade, before we send to a quick break and back out to the Hive.
Yeah, so thoughts on the first half. I've been very impressed with the accuracy of Marcus Dunhill, able to get the ball downfield, averaging just about a 71% completion percentage, 17 for 24 in the first half for 154 yards, and a touchdown out of the backfield to BDG Hollywood. Julian Tyree has done what he's needed to do at the quarterback position, 11 for 17, 76 yards. One interception. Sioux Falls momentum going into halftime is going to look to recapture that in the second half.
Atlanta 10, Sioux Falls 3. You're watching the SFL Championship game on 11 Sports and For the Fans. Back for the second half after this. Woo! Catch your breath. Super Giant Rock Show. We've got a Super Giant football game here. 10-3 as we start the second half. Cade Stevens, Cameron Irvine, Robert Garrett Jr. here with you. And back to football we go as A.J. Levy will return it up to the 22-yard line. And the Sparrows will get their first opportunity at offense in the second half.
Yeah, they went into halftime, Cam, as we discussed, with some momentum. A couple of good runs by Colin Hart moved him down the field relatively easily. Colin, not somebody we saw get too terribly involved in the first half, but got involved towards the end of the first half. I think he will be a big piece of the Sioux Falls offense here in the second half.
10:57 to go in the third. They'll start with a Colin Hart run, and he's slammed in the backfield, a 2-yard loss. That's a Qantas Shine on the tackle, and I think Sioux Falls was trying to keep that momentum going at the end of the first half, but to no avail.
Yeah, I can't blame him for doing it. Qantas Shine clearly had something to say about that as he gets in the backfield and makes a huge hit on Colin Hart for a 2-yard loss.
Let's bring in Jason McGee here after this play, get his thoughts on the first half. The Sioux Falls owner and coach. Tyree going to sneak it, so it's going to bring up 3rd down and 12. Jason, are you with us?
Yep.
Yeah, Jason, your thoughts on the first half?
Well, it was a close game. I think we've done a lot of the things that we need to do. We just need to not let them get any home runs with any of their guys, their big weapons. We need to reestablish the run on offense and stay strong on the early downs. I think we should be all right.
And do more things like that. A bomb to Gunnar Lewis down the field for a first down, and he's got to get more involved here in the second half, I would imagine, Jason.
Yes, indeed.
Jason, any further thoughts on the first half before we head back out to the field?
I think we're in a good spot. We just need to keep pushing and make the plays when they come.
All right, thanks, Coach. Thanks for joining us. 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line. Split backs for Tyree off the reception to Gunnar Lewis. And the handoff to Hart, and he stays upright for a while before Miraculous brings him down. Let's bring in Mark Chisholm, the coach and owner for the Atlanta Swarm. Mark, we got you?
Yeah, I'm here, Ken.
How fortunate do you feel, do you feel to be up by 7 without Jamal Wooding, and what are your thoughts on losing him?
That's a tough blow. He's a big part of our offense. He's part of the reason we're here in this game today. And not only are we missing his hands, we are definitely going to miss his blocking. So,
picked up!
Big tough blow.
Picked up by Miraculous. He tipped it to himself, and it's a first down for Atlanta. We'll keep you on the line here, Mark. But Cade, unbelievable play.
Unbelievable play by Miraculous. We've talked about it over and over, how the 42s in this particular game have been around the football over and over. And what an athletic play by Jay Miraculous to knock the ball in the air and go get it himself.
You can hear Mark clapping on the sidelines. I mentioned it earlier, Mark. The Miraculous's play over the last month has been vastly improved.
Incredible. With progression, he's definitely become an elite player, big part of the defense.
Mark, thanks for joining us. We'll get you back out to the field.
Thank you, sir.
1st and 10 at the 43 off the interception by Jay Miraculous. 2 backs and 2 receivers. What a start to the second half for Atlanta. Dunhill will fire it outside, and that pass is caught, really tackled by nobody. I think Davis got a foot on Boot Chisholm, picks up 5.
Yeah, nice little throw to the outside, and this is what Atlanta wants to do to start the second half here. They'd like to build just a little bit of momentum, take the short passes, 5-yard gain here, 3-yard gain here, 10-yard gain there. The BDG Hollywood certainly to be a big part of that. Good catch by Boo Chisholm and a nice throw by Marcus Dunhill on first down.
Sphinx with the comment of the year in the chat. Hollywood's got a first down. Up to the 30, a pickup of 8, and Sphinx in the chat says, super giant pick there. Oh, yeah.
Good luck getting that out of your head the rest of the day, folks.
I don't do it justice. Thank you to Hurricane Shane Band, Apple Rush, all the sponsors of the halftime show. That was a lot of fun, and we tried to add to the realism as much as possible here in our virtual world that we call home for months out of the year, certainly. Kay, do you remember your life before 6 months ago?
You know what? It's funny to say. I do not.
1st and 10 at the 30. 2 receivers to the top of the screen. They are pressed. Dunhill flips it out to Hollywood, and he picks up 6. Ringgold on the tackle. And they have been hitting Hollywood a lot out of the flat because the receivers are getting bumped, including Falco, who's been quiet.
Yeah, and Hollywood, normally what he's incredibly good at is making the first guy miss. And something that Sioux Falls has been extraordinarily good at today is being disciplined enough to make the tackle the first time in open space, keeping Hollywood contained.
There's Hollywood right up the middle, got a first down to the 13-yard line, and this second half is starting out strong for Atlanta.
I can't quite use breaking tackles as an example on that one because the blocking for Hollywood up front was incredibly good to the point to where he was not even touched until the first tackle came downfield by quarterback John Barnhart.
Mitchell O'Brien was looking for a blocker 8 yards down the field. Unbelievable. 5 wide here for Dunhill in close quarters at the 13. Levy stands at the goal line protecting it. 6:53 to go in a fast-moving third quarter. Dunhill dropping to throw, fires it out to the corner, and overshot Boo Chisholm. That was an opportunity. Chisholm now been targeted 7 times, has 3 receptions. And for Chisholm, he averages 19.5 yards a catch, and his touchdowns this season a career high.
That is an incredible number. Just think about it. Say, I'm going to throw it to this guy, and I'm going to get almost 20 yards every single time I do. Just a wild number. 9 touchdowns on the season. Boo Chisholm, just fantastic.
Hand off Hollywood. Oh, Hollywood makes Parker whiff a 6-yard pickup. Levy saves a touchdown. Hollywood down to the 7-yard line. And Sioux Falls begging for a 3-point stop here.
They would be lucky enough to be able to make that happen. 3rd and 4. Atlanta has been really good in this situation all year long. They can still get a first down. As you saw, Dunhill unfortunately missed a throw to Chisholm in the corner of the end zone. Let's see if they go back to that.
3rd and 4 at the 7. 3 receivers, 2 to the top of the screen. Dunhill dropping to throw. Dunhill fires to the corner of the end zone. And they say he's out of bounds. Oh, that is worth a challenge for sure. Chisholm, the intended receiver.
In a game like this, Cam, I'm willing to take a look, and that's exactly what they did. They tried to go back to Chisholm in the corner of the end zone. They just went a little short, and there it is. Atlanta is going to go ahead and challenge that this was inbounds.
Yeah, that if Chisholm would not have challenged, I think the crowd would have thrown him out of the stadium.
Very, very good possibility.
Up 7, you have to risk the timeout here. He looked like he had 2 feet in initially. Going to get an angle. Well, he definitely got the 1. I don't know what this call is going to be.
Interesting angle there. See what Ref 62's got to say.
And they rule it complete, and Atlanta's got a touchdown.
Boo Chisholm and Marcus Dunhill hook up once again, corner of the end zone. Good challenge there by Coach, and it pays off here as they're going to go ahead and tack on an additional 6, looking to be 7. Atlanta is looking to take a 14-point lead right here.
Now down 2 scores. Sioux Falls in a bit of trouble. The miraculous interception by Miraculous helps spring Atlanta to a 7-play, 43-yard drive. Stephen Hacker has also joined the stats crew here in the second half. So we've got the full allotment of genius in the booth. 6:13 to go in the third. Atlanta 17. Sioux Falls 3. Don't go anywhere. The Sparrows will get the ball back. And I highly doubt they're finished. You're watching the SFL on 11 Sports and For the Fans. 6:13 to go in the third quarter. Atlanta 17 and Sioux Falls 3 in the 14th SFL championship game. This is Levy from the 3. They could use a huge return out of him, and Levy is smothered at the 25-yard line with 6:09 to go here. And, well, Sioux Falls, one of their big advantages has been turnovers. They forced 30 this year, a high in the last 4 seasons, and they're losing the turnover battle today now.
Yeah, they're losing it today, and that's not typical for them in Season 14. They've done a really good job about taking care of the football and forcing turnovers on the other end. A huge drive for Sioux Falls here. They need to take care of that ball.
Tyree fires it out to James, and Al Dillapre Sr. he's on the field right there helping James up, but it's interesting that Dillapre Sr. has not been targeted as much as James has today.
No, and that's been a part of Sioux Falls' offense that's been a little puzzling. There's been some interesting things going on today with Sioux Falls' offensive gameplay. Maybe they saw something they liked. Huge drive for them here. They got to make something happen.
Hart only gets a couple. Tackle made by Zach Lay, picked up in week 8 on this defensive line. Napier was also in the area, 3rd and 5.
Well, when you pick a guy up late in the season, all you could ever hope for is that he'd provide you some good play just like that, and that's exactly what happens. And for a team that came in with one of the best third down conversion rates in the SFL, this is exactly the time you need to make that count.
Tyree, beautiful throw to Gunnar Lewis. I mean, he made that look easy, and that is incredibly difficult going across the field.
Across the field, and a great throw to the left side by Julian Tyree, but an even better route by wide receiver Gunnar Lewis, who goes up, shakes 2 defenders who were just 5-6 feet behind him. An entire guy had no chance of catching up. Julian Tyree hooking up with Gunnar Lewis for a first down. They're going to move those chains, Sioux Falls.
4 receptions, 52 yards. Lewis much more of a factor here in the third quarter than he was in the first half. First down for Tyree, going to throw. Tyree goes down the middle. That's caught by Wells out of the backfield for a first down. And we mentioned Lewis, touchdowns in 5 straight games, 4 touchdowns this postseason. And these are his numbers since week 5.
Since week 5, a week 5 rookie signing is Gunnar Lewis, and this is what he has done, folks. This is absolutely incredible numbers he's put up, and a huge reason why Sioux Falls has been as productive as they have on offense.
1st and 10 of the 47, handoff to Hart up the middle. Hart gets some room, picks up 6. Gunnar Lewis, Cade, 61 receivers this SFL season have played more games than him with less receiving yards.
That's incredible. Absolutely incredible.
4:08 to go. One of the best runs of the day for Hart. Picks up 6. Only bested by that 27-yarder at the end of the half, but he's up to 47 yards on 9 carries. 3 receivers, 2 backs in the backfield, Wells and Hart. 2nd and 4, handoff, Hart, stretch play left. Hart gets out ahead of his blocker and otherwise might have had the first down. Moose Papineau on the tackle, but a gain of 3 for Hart. Sets up 3rd and 1.
Yeah, his guard, number 74, Cooper Colston there, if he can just let him get a little bit more momentum moving to the left side, there's a really good chance Colin Hart's going for an additional 15 yards on that play.
Heavy look here. Atlanta's out of the nickel, and nobody on the line or anywhere near it besides the 4D lineman. The handoff goes to Wells. Wells finds the hole, and Wells gets the first down to the 32-yard line. Shine with his 6th solo tackle, but tremendous vision from Jalen Wells.
Jalen Wells, very nicely done. It cuts back to the inside, unfortunately, after a block was missed for him. And just nicely done. I'm not really sure. You pointed out before the play started, Atlanta lining up as if they were expecting pass, even though Sioux Falls is lining up in a very heavy-set run-type offense.
In a mock draft, we'll get to more of it after this play here as the handoff goes to Wells. Wells up the middle, picks up 7. In a mock draft before the season 13 rookie draft, or the season 14 rookie draft rather, one of the mock drafts had Jalen Wells going to Atlanta and playing on the defensive side of the ball. He ends up getting drafted by Sioux Falls 1 round later off the projection. So all's well that ends well for Jalen Wells, as Wells has a first down, and Sioux Falls has found something with Jalen Wells up the middle. He's up to almost 50 yards on the ground.
Big fan of the two-back set Sioux Falls is setting up right now. The offensive line doing a tremendous job opening holes for both of these running backs right now. As you see, the guard there who screwed up just a little earlier, Cooper Colston, pushing inside and creating a massive hole for Jalen Wells to get through. And a nice run and a first down. They're going to move the chains all the way down to Atlanta's 16-yard lines. They're in that SFL red zone territory, Cam.
Not the best day for Tyree. Those 2 interceptions have killed his rating. 1st and 10 at the 16. Sioux Falls in the red zone for just the second time today. Tyree throws it short. A.J. Warren running a little drag route, picks up 5, the 11-yard line as Sioux Falls mixes it up. Dylan Rowland on the stop.
And a good throw on that play by Julian Tyree to Warren. In the red zone like this, Cam, you just want to take what you can get. A 2nd and 5 from the 11-yard line leaves you with endless possibilities on what you'd like to do here on 2nd down.
Here's two-back set again. Terrazas just off the line. He only has 1 catch today. Tyree going to throw. Penalty on the field. It's caught by Terrazas at the 2, but not sure what this might be in the middle of the play. Is there a bump downfield?
I couldn't quite tell exactly what happened, but way to go up and get the ball nonetheless.
And it's defensive holding on Napier, so Sioux Falls will decline. They're inside the 5.
Oh, this is exactly what they wanted. Jalen Wells been their short yardage guy so far, but Colin Hart, no one to shake a stick at right now. We know that how successful he'd been during the regular season running the football. Expect to see one of those guys right here coming from the Atlanta 1-yard line. They're going to try to punch this in. Sioux Falls is ready to make this football game again.
1st and goal at the 1, handoff to Wells, and Jalen Wells, it was his drive, and it was the Sparrows who get in the end zone and answer Atlanta's touchdown.
Jalen Wells with his first ever postseason touchdown.
Wow.
A nice run and a great job on this drive by him.
I mean, that was not an easy handoff. Joshua Williams does a great job coming off that block, and Sioux Falls 12-play, 76-yard drive answers the call. The Sparrows now have scoring drives of 14 plays, 61 yards, and 12 plays, 76 yards. Sioux Falls up to 50 plays, Atlanta 43, in a nip-and-tuck game that has gotten a little bit more offensive here today. A double jump there by a lineman. Thought he might have had a chance to block the extra point, but to no avail. Falk puts it through, and it's back to a 7-point game again. Sioux Falls not going anywhere. 1:22 to go in the 3rd. You're watching the 14th SFL Championship game on 11 Sports and For the Fans. We'll be right back. .122 to go in the 3rd quarter. And Falk will boot it away. What a game. What an afternoon here in the Simulation Football League. As Axis returns it past the 20, gets out to the 24-yard line, and it's Sioux Falls rushing offense that we've talked about most of the day. Not Atlanta's, but Atlanta comes into the game 5th in rushing yards per game and ranks top 5 in 6 of 8 key offensive categories. I'd say Sioux Falls has done a pretty nice job.
I'd say they've done a pretty nice job indeed. That defense for Sioux Falls has kind of kept Atlanta in check a little bit here. Marcus Dunhill not able to stretch the field like he's used to doing. BG Hollywood has been effective, but not quite to the same standard we've seen him in the prior 2 playoff games so far this season.
Trips left, Dunhill going to throw. Dunhill fires over the middle of the field. That pass is caught, first down to the 40-yard line. Dave Axis, the rookie with his first catch in the championship, moves the chains.
Hey, for a first catch, it's a pretty effective one right there. Kind of gets you out of the shadow of your own side of the field, and a nice little in post there, and a great catch by Dave Axis.
How about Atlanta coming out slinging it on the first play of the drive? They do not want to get conservative.
No, they do not.
Under a minute to go in the 3rd quarter. Dunhill going to change the play here. as Sioux Falls deploys 8 in the box. Handoff to Hollywood, and Hollywood sloshes ahead for 7 yards. Nice changeup there by Dunhill.
Yeah, nice little changeup by Dunhill and a good run by Hollywood. Hollywood, had he seen the hole open a little sooner on the right-hand side, could have been going for a lot more than what he got. But 7 yards in a stacked box like that, pretty impressive from BDG Hollywood.
2nd and 3 at the 47. 3 backs in the backfield. Only 3 down linemen for Sioux Falls. The handoff goes to Hollywood, and Davis gets in the backfield, making another play from his defensive back position. We saw him do that earlier in the first half. As we come to the end of the third quarter, we'll get Cade's thoughts on Davis's play when we return. Put your 4s up in the chat. Sioux Falls 10, Atlanta 17. What a game as we finish up the SFL's 14th season on 11 Sports and for the fans. Do not move a muscle. Start of the fourth quarter here from the Hive in Atlanta. You're watching the SFL's 14th championship game. Atlanta 17, Sioux Falls 10. The Swarm have the ball, but a 3rd and 4 from their own 46-yard line. Hollywood's in the backfield. Dunhill will pass. Dunhill checks it down to Hollywood. Look at the blocking. Oh, we got a second one. Hollywood to the 41-yard line. A pickup of 13 yards, and dare I say, that is some sexy football.
Could not have been set up better by Atlanta's offense. Let's throw the initial praise right here to Marcus Dunhill, who's looking downfield, drawing blockers to the left-hand side as the offensive line draws right. BDG Hollywood with 2 additional blocks downfield, able to make a nice play out of it, and a nice job by the Atlanta offense right there on 3rd down.
Right in front of Coach Chisholm, who's praising the heavens for such tremendous play down the field. Hand off to Hollywood, and Hollywood is crushed by Alex Parker, a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, real close to breaking another one there on the outside. Alex Parker, had he just been a step slower, potentially would not have gotten to Hollywood in time before he broke off another big one.
2nd down and 8 at the 38-yard line. Under 10 to play now. And Dunhill's got all day. Deep down the field, the pass is caught at the 15-yard line. It is Boo Chisholm. And Dunhill's up to 222 in his first title game.
Wow. Boo Chisholm. Nice catch downfield in traffic. And Dunhill with the patience offensive line, give him a ton of credit there, folks. They gave him a lot of time to survey the field and look to see where his options were, and he threw it up to the guy he could trust the most. Boo Chisholm went and got the football. Nice catch and a first down inside the red zone.
Where is Siege Falco today? Just 11 yards on 2 receptions. This one over the middle is incomplete, intended for Falco, but are they throwing a penalty on Ringgold?
That'd be a bad one if they were.
It looked like the ball got there before Ringgold did.
Oh.
They actually call it on Nick Fargo off the ball.
Interesting call.
I'd love to see a replay. That is a huge penalty, as that pass was out ahead
way ahead of Falco, yeah.
Yeah, and back to Falco. I mean, 85 receptions in the postseason. I mean, he's had 22 catches in his career, but he's not ever scored a postseason touchdown. He's, again, a little bit quiet today. First and goal.
Line up in the slot, Cam. There might be a chance here.
Yep, first and goal at the 7. There you see him in the slot. Dunhill will fire it out. Falco! Touchdown for Atlanta! Right on cue, his first career postseason touchdown.
He must have heard you talking, buddy, because there he is. Siege Falco had something to say about that. And there he goes with the call. Ladies and gentlemen, Siege Falco, touchdown. A nice throw by Dunhill on the play. Falco gets in for a touchdown.
Back-to-back touchdown drives in the second half after it was almost halftime, and it was 3-3.
That all I can tell is it looks like they woke up just a little bit, and Falco wanted his piece of the cake. Dunhill, a nicely orchestrated drive, help from BDG Hollywood. Boo Chisholm and Siege Falco puts the icing on the cake.
Extra point for Short is up and good, 24-10. And we've had more buzz than kapow today. Sioux Falls playing from behind most of the day, although it was tied at 3 there for a very long time. But Sioux Falls in the position where they have to answer. Their defense has surrendered back-to-back scores.
Yeah, Sioux Falls has absolutely no room to relax right here. They have got to make something happen on this drive. I do believe punting the ball away will not be good enough.
Well, 9:23 to go, and who was it? Did you see? Over 1,300 sims. I have never seen an injury report that had no name. You just can't.
Yep.
Every game is different. That is unbelievable. I don't know who was hurt. Hopefully nobody significant. Colin Hart gets a carry to the outside and only gets 2 yards, so Sioux Falls staying patient. But how often can they do that? Dylan Rowland on the tackle.
They don't have a lot of time to be patient, unfortunately, left in this game. Down 2 scores here is Sioux Falls. They've got to make something happen on this drive with just 9 minutes remaining in the championship game for Season 14.
8:53 to go. Tyree flips it outside. Lewis will make it a manageable third down, and he did get out of bounds, so it helped stop the clock a bit. But this Sioux Falls offense, their passing game last in the league in the SFL regular season. The last team to make the SFL championship game with the #1 rushing offense, that's Sioux Falls, was the Tallahassee Pride in season 11. The last team to make the championship with the worst passing offense, the season 12 Denver Nightwings. Both lost the championship. Hart gets a first down to the 38-yard line. And the last road team to win an SFL championship was season 10. That was Florida, beating the undefeated Pride at the time.
I mean, there's lots of opportunity for some crazy things to happen right here. Listen, if you think this game's even close to over with 8 minutes and 15 seconds to go, history is very well on the way to being made.
8:08 to go in the fourth. Here comes Tyree. There's another flag. This last 4 minutes has been littered with laundry. Warren with a nice catch on the outside, and I don't have any idea what this is either.
A Ref 62 alive and well, Cam.
It's another hold. on Napier. What is going on down the field? Now, Napier's primary responsibility is guarding Gunnar Lewis, so you almost wonder if Lewis is just giving him fits and he's having to hold.
Lewis has got great speed off the line of scrimmage, something that he's shown since he's been signed with the Sioux Falls Sparrows earlier this season, and that could possibly be it. Napier might have been beat on a couple of press coverage plays, and you're looking at a couple of holds.
Tyree hit as he threw, and the pass is intercepted! Lewis was down there in a floater, and I actually stand corrected. Blake Hamrick is actually responsible for Lewis on most plays, and Tyree takes pressure, and that could be a nail.
Blake Hamrick, heck of a play. I mean, Tyree just absolutely drilled in the backfield. The pressure caused him to underthrow the football, unfortunately, and he's turned the ball over back to Atlanta. Sioux Falls has never needed their defense to stand up more than they do right now.
Pressure by Tim Cleland. And if you think that this offense is going to turn the ball over, well, you're in for some hurt, because they don't turn the ball over. Just 20 this season, second best in the SFL.
Absolutely incredible effort from them after the last few seasons to only turn the ball over 20 times, and a great throw and catch there on first down.
Caught by Falco, and the momentum here at the Hive has finally turned, and Sioux Falls is desperate here.
Sioux Falls got to be desperate. I'm not sure if there's a defensive adjustment that they can make, potentially more pressure on Dunhill, but you do not want to send the blitz too quickly, because BDG Hollywood can absolutely kill you on a draw play or an inside zone.
4 receivers, Dunhill to throw. Again, no pressure, knocked away. John Barnhart defending Chisholm down the field, and Sam Armand, who we saw make a tackle earlier in the game, he was the guy that got hurt on the play. He's done for the day with a major injury. So despite 2 injuries now for Atlanta, they are still up in this game.
Still hanging around, absolutely, with a 2-score lead here, 24-10. And John Barnhart, who's had a phenomenal playoff run here, making another big play for Sioux Falls there.
Second down and 10 off the incompletion. 7 minutes to go in the fourth. Dunhill going to throw again. Dunhill deep down the middle of the field, incomplete. And Sioux Falls had a chance to pick that off. I'm surprised Atlanta has stayed so aggressive, stopping the clock once again. Jay Ringgold on the coverage.
Yeah, Ringgold and Barnhart back there again as well, with an opportunity to try to take this football away.
Barnhart.
And I am with you wholeheartedly, Cam. I cannot believe Atlanta has opted to try and continue to throw the football when they've got a workhorse like Hollywood in the backfield.
Back-to-back deflections for Barnhart. We put it up earlier. The fact that he has had more picks than tackles coming into the postseason was, it was something else.
Incredible.
3rd and 10 at the 45. Dunhill, deep shot down the field. It is caught! Caught by Chisholm! Boo! Chisholm has stepped up in a big way as Davis can't bring it down.
Chisholm going up and getting the football, works his way towards the sideline, and Sioux Falls, unfortunately, not close enough to try and make a play. Marcus Dunhill, look at this throw right here. Puts it right where it needs to be, trusts his receiver to go up and get the football. Absolutely phenomenal play call by Atlanta, and they make it happen once again. They're going to move those chains all the way down to the Sioux Falls 28-yard line, and this is looking bleak right now, Cam.
Yeah, Sioux Falls needs a turnover or a sack or something. And if I was Atlanta right now, I would stop throwing. Just get some points and get it to a 3-score game. Get Sioux Falls off your back, but Dunhill will continue to be aggressive. The pass is incomplete. Levy looked like he might have got away with a little bump there early, but he knocks it away from Boo.
Oh, he sure does. Levy would have liked to have had that one. He's made a lot of big plays in this game. And, boy, if Sioux Falls ever needed another one, it's going to be right here. I'm sure one going the other way would feel pretty good.
2nd and 10 to the 28. 3 in the backfield. 6:35 to go in the fourth. Handoff Hollywood, and Hollywood is smashed by Fuentes, but dragging ahead for 4 more. We knew turnovers were going to be a big part of this game, and here's why. One of the best stats you'll see all season. Sioux Falls, a plus 21 flip from their turnover differential last season. Atlanta plus 12. St. Louis plus 28. And that was a big reason why they made the playoffs. But these two teams have reversed their turnover woes like nobody's business this year. Dunhill all by himself, and he's going to be sacked back at the 29-yard line. Not the worst thing in the world for Atlanta, still in field goal range, but the sack made by James Kelly.
James Kelly, the rookie first-round pick going 10th overall in the SFL draft this year, comes up with the biggest play of his entire SFL career right there as he pushes Atlanta very back a little bit. It's going to be a tough field goal, but still very manageable.
Short from 46 yards away to make it a 3-score game. The snap was outstanding, and Short's field goal is money, and Atlanta leads 27-10 with 5:29 to go, and they are starting to feel it, but we'll see how quickly Sioux Falls can respond after this. You're watching the SFL's 14th championship game on 11 Sports and for the fans. .5:29 to go in the fourth quarter. Atlanta 27, Sioux Falls 10. The championship game post-game show coming up on the SFL's Twitch channel. Following this game, we will react to the game, Season 14, expansion, all that stuff. And you can do so with me live after the game. And then after that, it'll be hitting the pillow for me after a long season. Levy returns it up to the 21-yard line. And Sioux Falls, we haven't seen a ton of stuff deep from them in their last deep shot. Tyree faced pressure, threw it away.
Yeah, unfortunately in this game, Sioux Falls has turned it over when it mattered the most. Atlanta's got 10 points off of turnovers in the second half alone, and that has been a big difference in this football game.
Hand off to Wells. And Wells picks up 5, and this is the offense they needed in the first half that they just weren't getting.
No, Sioux Falls had an idea in the first half that I think potentially they thought was going to be a little bit more effective than what it was. They tried quite a bit of Jalen Wells out of the backfield and into the flat, and it didn't quite work. They also tried some deep shots downfield to start the game.
Oh, look at Williams blowing up Wells in the backfield, and does Sioux Falls have a pass out of this? This has not been good 5-minute offense. They do not. The handoff goes to Wells. He is smoked, and it's 4th down.
Wow, a very interesting play call from them and a very quick offense to try to hand the ball off again on 3rd and 6. I don't see the reason behind that one, Cam, but
this might be it.
This very well could be it right here.
Empty backfield, 5 wide. This is what they needed earlier in the drive. They've wasted about 45 seconds to a minute off the clock. And Tyree goes long, and it is caught by Warren, but he went out of bounds. He was led out of bounds. That would have been a touchdown, but still a first down in midfield. Sioux Falls still alive.
I'm telling you, that ball is just a little bit more left to him, and he is walking into the end zone right now.
Put it on the wrong shoulder.
Wrong shoulder. Yeah, left side shoulder, not the right side. And I'm telling you, A.J. Warren is right now rowing his boat into the end zone.
Warren, great catch, all things considered. 1st and 10 from midfield, and Sioux Falls back in an empty 4-wide set. This on Tyree now as he tries to rally his team to an unprecedented comeback, and James nearly caught that deflection. It hit Warren and bounced about 8 yards backwards, and Sioux Falls fortunate nobody came up with it.
Yeah, very fortunate indeed. Linebacker Dylan Rowland for Atlanta got his hand in there and knocked that ball back to the turf when it could have been a lot worse than that.
4:11 left in the fourth quarter. Three receivers, 2 to the left. Tyree back to pass. Tyree with a closing pocket, flips it out to Hart. Hart is smashed by Aquantis Shine, and Hart couldn't even get out of bounds. Clock ticking.
Tick, 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 tick. Sioux Falls has got a lot to do here. 3rd down and 8.
Under 4. Snap the ball, Tyree. 3 receivers. Tyree near side. Lewis dropped it. 4th down again. And the usually efficient Sioux Falls Sparrows' 3rd down offense has not been 7 of 13. It's still pretty decent percentage, but not in the last two opportunities.
No, incredible percentage overall, but when they absolutely needed it the most, especially from one of their biggest playmakers this season, Gunnar Lewis, unfortunately the ball pops off his hands and they face a 4th and 8, which is basically the ball game here.
4th down again for Sioux Falls. Just a minute later, 3:46 to play. Tyree looking, hit as he threw. It's a turnover on downs, and the party's about to start here in Atlanta.
Tim Cleland, huge play to get in the backfield. Defensive end number 55 for Atlanta makes a play to get off his block. Absolutely nails Julian Tyree, whose ball flutters to the turf. And a turnover on downs. Atlanta takes the ball back, and all they have to do is kill 3 minutes and 43 seconds before they are SFL world champions.
Still 3 timeouts and a 2-minute warning, and Sioux Falls has done a pretty nice job on Hollywood besides that 41-yard run. Hollywood has 54 yards on 16 carries, good for about 3 yards a tote. Hand off to Hollywood, and he gets 2. So that will continue to bleed the clock, and if Atlanta can hold on here, Cade, Marcus Dunhill taking the league staff position, doing the selfless thing that so many, are either don't want to do or unable to do or don't have a passion for. And Dunhill saying, look, there's bigger things than me. I really want to be a part of the league's vision and be a puzzle builder. He's going to become the director of player personnel, and right now he's played good enough to go out a champion.
Absolutely, he has. And if they ever wrote a cowboy story about riding off into the sunset, Marcus Dunhill is on his way to living that right now.
A throw to Hollywood, and they mark him still inbounds. Dunhill, 27 for 38, 282 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, a QBR of 107.6. And we put it up at the beginning of the broadcast at a QBR of 105. There has not been a single quarterback in the SFL player progression era that has had more than one season with over 100 QBR. Isn't that something?
That is absolutely incredible. And Marcus Dunhill, a heck of a player, a heck of a person, and definitely a valued member of the league staff coming up here forward, and he'll be missed by the Atlanta Swarm after this football game. Clearly done an awful lot for them to get him to this point, and Atlanta's going to go ahead and punt the ball back to Sioux Falls with just about 2 minutes left in this football game.
Sioux Falls has 3 timeouts, and they have the 2-minute warning. I would say we've seen crazier things. We just saw a no-namer get hurt earlier, and we saw a band play on our virtual field at halftime. So you never know what's going to happen in the SFL. Come right back. You're watching the SFL Championship game on 11 Sports and For the Fans. Two minutes left. Chris Smith on to punt. Atlanta leads 27-10 over Sioux Falls. Both teams gunning for their first championship in team histories. Atlanta has been in the league for 8 seasons or 4 years. Sioux Falls has been in the league. Why are you letting that bounce? A.J. Levy down to the 4.
Wow.
That is just that's a veteran mistake. I'm stunned.
The opposite of what you need to happen right there. I think you got to take that one and see what you can make happen. Instead, they've set the offense up with an awfully difficult task here, pinned down to their own 4-yard line.
That is a deflated move right there. Just that's tough. Sioux Falls in the league for 9 seasons, 4.5 years in their first championship game. Tyree throwing out of his own end zone, dumps it off short over the middle. Warren makes the most of a bad situation, picks up 6. That clock is still moving.
Tick, 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 tick. And Julian Tyree's doing the best he can right now. We'll see.
Tyree, deep, looking for Lewis. And you can't fault him for trying. And that's actually a dangerous time. Sean Diggs in, the backups in for Atlanta. And, don't speak too soon.
No, yeah, I mean, I'd like to tell you with the game being at about 3 scores that it was completely over, but I've seen crazier things happen.
3rd down and 4 at the 10 for Tyree. Still a glimmer of hope for the Sparrows. This was a 17-10 ball game at one point. That pass caught by Dillapre Sr., his first catch, and I think his first target of the whole day. Maybe his second. Gets a first down, but can't get out of bounds. And Tyree again over the middle. Wide open, though. First down. Where has that been all day?
I'm sure Sioux Falls would like to know.
Golly, that was Gunnar Lewis with a nice route over the middle. But again, this is the offense they needed in the first half. There he is again. Wide open.
Frosters, they got these linebackers confused. This is something they should have gone to earlier in the football game.
Got it too little too late. Got to burn a timeout. Taking too much time in Atlanta. They're definitely with it now. Dump off Hart. Smashed. Papineau with the major hit. And finally, Sioux Falls pulls out at least a portion of their white flag.
Oh, my gosh. And, you said it perfectly, Cam. Too little, too late. A nice strategy here going down the field on this particular drive. But where was it when it mattered? At one point during this game, it was just 17-10. And, boy, it's a big hole now.
2nd down, 11. Tyree got to run somebody out of bounds. There you go right there. That's Lewis. Picks up 3 to make it a more manageable 3rd down. Well, if you're new to the SFL, get your spot in the SFL Minor League SFLM today to #claim your spot and begin your SFL career. The inaugural season is kicked off and the league is full with over 175 players. But getting a spot helps put you in the best position to hit the field as soon as possible. Pro subscribers get first priority on choosing the position, so don't delay your career another second. We can't wait for you to make an impact like Atlanta has done today. That pass is caught by Lewis. Past the 30, 20, 15, and a touchdown saving tackle will burn a timeout. But Lewis getting free down the sideline, and Sioux Falls with a heart of a near champion still moving the football.
Still trying to make it happen. Gunnar Lewis, the big playmaker for Sioux Falls at wide receiver, the vast majority of the season since he signed in Week 5, is making plays happen. Unfortunately, it appears too little too late here, Cam.
Jeffrey Gavin on the coverage and struggling. I use the word coverage loosely. Again, SFL postgame show coming up on our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/simulationfl. If you want to hear reactions from players, fans around the league, players around the league, and more. Tyree is crushed. Hits James over the middle. Down to 25 seconds left, 2nd and 2. Tyree could get his first passing touchdown of the day right here. 19-18. Tyree throws in zone. Intercepted! And Atlanta will give up nothing. Moose Papineau. Give me a deep moose on that one. Moose.
Hey, what a play by Moose Papineau there to come up with the football. And I'm not sure if Tyree just felt like he had to get rid of the ball a little earlier than he wanted to. But he threw it directly to Moose there. Interception by Atlanta, who will give up nothing, I imagine. They will just take a couple of knees here and go ahead and end this one. The Atlanta Swarm 15 seconds away from being SFL world champions.
Marcus Dunhill gets to get a standing ovation from the crowd here at the Hive as Rod Harris comes in to take the knees. What a moment that is for Dunhill. He just does so much for his community, and he's done so much for this community. He was general manager for a while, helped build up some of these players, along with Mark Chisholm, who's just done an incredible job building this organization, a model franchise in the SFL. They do just about everything exceptional here in Atlanta, and the Swarm were able to get it done for their city, a city that is not used to holding on to leads in the second half. The Atlanta Swarm, how about it? Your champions, Georgia, 27-10 over Sioux Falls. Your Atlanta Swarm are title winners in the Simulation Football League and World Simulation Football champs.
SFL World Champion Atlanta Swarm, all of the work, all of the sweat, all of the perseverance, they find themselves here. They find themselves champions. It was all worth it in the end. As you can see, the clear difference between the two teams there, Cam. 4 turnovers for Sioux Falls. Inevitably, the nail in the coffin that cost them this football game.
That pick by Jay Miraculous, I think, was the play of the game because it came out of nowhere, and I think it shocked Sioux Falls to the core. I mean, they're thinking 10-3, we got the football, we're in this game, and then all of a sudden, they were down 14 and were never the same after that.
Yeah, never the same after that, and they were driving. They felt like they had some momentum going on. Jay Miraculous up with a big interception on that play, takes the ball right back, and I don't think that they ever recovered. I think that they struggled at that point to find momentum in the passing game, never could really get the run game extremely solid, and ultimately in the end it cost them a shot at the championship. Atlanta took that away. The number 1 seed Atlanta Swarm coming up with the W here.
What a great season for Sioux Falls. It just goes to show you how difficult it is to make the championship. A lot of hard work behind the scenes by coaching staffs all over the league. But Sioux Falls, in their 9th season, getting to the big game, they really did put on a nice performance. They just were a little bit too passive in the second half. And when they got down, it was trouble.
Yeah, they sure did, and that was it. I mean, that's what needed to happen early in the game is they needed to somehow build some momentum very early on, get down the field, establish something, and unfortunately, they could not get Julian Tyree completely comfortable. Colin Hart didn't get really involved until a little bit later. Jalen Wells, they leaned on him very heavily early on, and Sioux Falls' offense unfortunately faltered.
Your player of the game, why not? Marcus Dunhill, 27-38. 282 yards, 3 touchdowns, and the lone pick came at the very beginning of the game with a QBR of over 107. For Stephen Hacker, Robert Garrett Jr., Cade Stevens, and all of our SFL Network crew all season long. Mike Daggs, Director of Broadcasting, Andy Hamilton, Director of Social Media, Mark Lopez, Director of Statistics, Hacker, Director of Game Day Operations. Boy, who am I missing? Jermaine Smith, SFL President. Andrew Rastelli, Deputy Commissioner. Oh, who's left out there? It is a lot going on here in the SFL, and we thank all of our staff, their supporters, everybody that's done stats all season long, everybody that's done broadcasting all season long, wrote a story, retweeted something, everything, all of you. We see you, we hear you, we love you. Post-game show is coming up next. This has been the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and for the fans. Good night.